Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so much for being here and thank you for sharing your energy with me. I do appreciate it. Be sure and follow on TikTok and YouTube for me so I can grow my collectives. I just want to grow my community this year. It's a huge goal for me, so I would appreciate it. Thank you. And if you are new, I'm going to pull a traditional Celtic cross spread, and whatever message comes out is the message that the collective needs to hear. I did bring out my Oracle deck, so I'll pull a couple of those cards at the end and get some additional messages from Spirit and wrap everything up with that. If you're interested in a private reading, or if you're interested in astrology, manifestation, going through spiritual awakening, go check out my website. I've got a bunch of products listed there for to help people that are going through spiritual awakening and just kind of empower you and help you move through energies. So we have the Knight of Cups, Temperance. That's your card. You blocking yourself here. Nine of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. Damn. Nine of Wands, King of Wands. There you are again. Queen of Cups, Four of Cups, Hanged Man. Underneath we have the Five of Pentacles. So maybe kind of sitting in a lack mindset here, probably regarding your finances. So the Five of Pentacles is about like loss, feeling lack. Could be about your mindset, but it can also be like financially, you're just feeling lacking in finances. Could be about like feeling left out in the cold too here, because I mean that is literally the card. They're out in the cold. But it's also like, if you look like that Pentacles, it kind of looks like a stained glass window. So that's probably a building they're outside of. They could just go inside that building and ask for help. So I feel like this is you knowing that you're not alone, and maybe it's time for you to ask for help from others, or ask from help from the universe, whatever that is. But you're kind of in like this, negative energy right now. But we'll get into the tarot and see what's going on here. So the situation here is the Knight of Cups. This can be about love. This can be about like a love offer, but it's also about like he's, the Prince Charming card, but it's also about like following your heart here, trusting your intuition, following your heart. And I feel like the blockage is Temperance. This is your card. So basically you're blocking yourself here. This is also about like balance and alchemizing, moving through energies, moderation, seeking balance and moderation. So I feel like you are imbalanced in some way, and it's keeping you from going after following your heart. This is about like a wish fulfillment. We have the Nine of Cups here. So this is something that you're trying to call in, some kind of wish fulfillment that you want, and going after what makes your heart happy, like following your heart. You're just, maybe you're imbalanced. Maybe that's your finances. Maybe you're feeling like you don't have the finances to do this. But I feel like you just need to get balanced and calm yourself and focus on going after what your heart desires here. So in the recent past, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is like a new idea, a breakthrough, some type of new clarity and truth. So I feel like in the recent past, you did get some truth or clarity, or you maybe had like a breakthrough idea, something that you wanted to, that would be you following your heart, that would bring you this wish fulfillment. So maybe this is, maybe you got a new idea for a job, a new idea for starting a business, whatever that is for you. So whatever this following your heart is, this wish fulfillment, there's some sort of breakthrough or clarity regarding that, surrounding that. And your higher self, your subconscious, we have the Ace of Wands, which is about new passionate beginning, new creativity, a new spark. And you're ready to start a new journey here. And the only thing holding you back is yourself. I just think it's funny that the Temperance card came out, because that's literally your card. So you're holding yourself back from following your heart and going after your wish fulfillment. Why? Do you feel like you lack a skill set? Do you feel like you lack finances? It's just you realizing that you are not lacking. You can follow your heart and go after this wish fulfillment. And in the near future, we have the Nine of Wands. So that is you doing that very thing. This is, they call him the wounded warrior. He does have like this bandage. Like you've been through a lot, but you're persevering. And this is like a last stand. It's right before the 10. So like you're right there at the end of this. Like you're right at the end of whatever this was that you were fighting through. And you're near that success. And you're overcoming challenges. You're facing them head on and you're overcoming those here in the near future. So your advice from Spirit is King of Wands. This is your energy. King of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sag. This is Spirit telling you to step into this leadership, this seeing things from a bigger picture, seeing things from a different perspective, like I said, and then you have the Hanged Man over here as your final outcome. So we'll get into that. But I feel like maybe you're seeing lack, you're seeing you don't have whatever it is that you need. You don't have the money. You don't have the know-how. But I feel like this is Spirit telling you to step into your power, step into your leadership, realize that you have what it takes to do this. Like you're persevering, you're pushing through. You've got some new beginnings. You've got new ideas. And then in your environment right now, the influence here is the Queen of Cups. So this is about your intuition and your creativity. So this could be like a creative adventure that you wanted to maybe you wanted to start a side hustle. Maybe you wanted to focus more on creativity, whatever that is. But she's very intuitive, very emotionally balanced. She's very creative. So maybe embody that emotional intelligence. And she's also about compassion. So maybe have some compassion for yourself. With this feeling lack, feeling this negative mindset, like don't be so hard on yourself. If you're anything like me, I'm a Sagittarius sun, so I'm very hard on myself, and I don't realize when you get to this point and you've been through so much, yes, we're just kind of expected to, push through and what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, you're just pushing through and you're overcoming all these obstacles and you're doing all this work and you're following your heart, but you're not having compassion for yourself. Like realize that this Nine of Wands was not easy to get to. Like you have overcome a lot. So take it easy on yourself, but also like focus on that creativity, opening up emotionally, open up your heart space, focus on your creativity, because the two of these together, like this fire, this stepping into your leadership, and then stepping into that creativity together, I feel ultimately is what's going to open you up to this wish fulfillment, and it's going to help bring that into you. So your hopes and fears, we have the Four of Cups. I feel like you are just very bored and stagnant. So this is also about being open to receive. Again, when I said open your heart space, like Spirit is trying to hand you this new beginning here. You have this Ace of Swords and you have this Ace of Wands, and if you look, like the hand is the hand of Spirit, the hand of God, whatever you want to call it, is handing you this gift. And like, you need to be open to receive this gift. But as far as your hopes and fears, I feel like maybe you are fearing stagnancy, boredom, or, fearing that this is not going to come in. You just need to be open to receive it. And the overall outcome, though, is the Hanged Man. So this is like releasing control, seeing things in a completely different light. I feel like you are seeing the bigger picture here. Again, with this King of Wands, you are seeing the bigger picture. You're going to release that control and open yourself up to Spirit here. So I really love that. And it's not easy to release control and kind of surrender and let things go. That's never an easy energy to sit in, but I feel like, you're going to get there, and you're going to start trusting in Spirit and seeing the bigger picture. What do they not see coming, Spirit? The Sagittarius not see coming. Okay, are we going to get any of them to come out? What does Sagittarius not see coming here, Spirit? Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so we have the Emperor, which is all about like, again, leadership, control, strength. I can't get it off the table. Sorry. I always have that problem with these. So it's about stepping into that leadership role, taking control of situations. And then we have the Eight of Wands, and that's like rapid forward movement and overcoming obstacles. So I feel like this is just you stepping into that, like controlling the situation. But, I said release control. So it's kind of contradictory. So focus on what you can control. Focus on your goals, going after what your heart desires. Don't worry about how it's going to come in. Don't focus on controlling the actual situation. Control what you can. Control your mindset, control your actions, control your steps to get to whatever this wish fulfillment is for you. And don't worry about how spirit brings it in. You focus on what you can control and what you want to bring in. And that's going to bring rapid change, rapid movement, and it's going to help you overcome obstacles. And just realizing what you can control here. And focus on your stability, focus on this wish fulfillment. So example, like if you're if you want to have like $1 million business, and you don't know how to bring that in, like right now you're kind of sitting in this lack mindset and you don't know how you're even going to get started, and you don't know, I still can't get these off the table, sorry. You don't know how you're going to bring that in. You're over here, woe is me, and you're not releasing control. Like it doesn't matter what step 1 through, what step 2 through 10 are. You focus on that first step. You take control of what you can here, kind of step into this leadership energy. Like, I'm going to handle this, and I'm just going to get started, and I'm going to focus on my creativity. I'm going to focus on my leadership skills. I'm going to focus on opening up to spirit. And then, once you open and release that control and focus on taking the steps and taking leadership in taking ownership basically of what it is you want to bring into fruition, but releasing the control on how it's going to get there. If that makes any sense. Like, yes, you want to control yourself and your mindset, control the steps that you're taking, do things with ambition, do things with a leadership mindset, but release the outcome here, release the control of needing to control every aspect. Release that idea, because you can't control every aspect. You can control certain aspects of it. Again, like with the business, focus on what you can build right now, but don't worry about the long run and how spirit is going to bring that into you. I hope that made sense. It made sense in my head, but I don't know if I articulated it correctly. So what do they need to focus on, spirit? The Sagittarius actions and advice. And advice. Oh, shoot. Okay, I usually only take 3, but that's okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Again, I need to do, like, I put a cloth down on the table, but it drives me crazy because then it like gets stuck. So, but then I can't, like, whatever. You guys don't care. It's not your problem. Anyway, focus on growth, progress, expansion here. Again, focus on what you can control. Focus on growing and progress, and don't focus on the overall outcome. Surrender the need to know everything to spirit and just focus on what you can here. So focus on your growth, your progress, teamwork, collaboration. Focus on what it is you are building. You've got growth and progress in building something here, whatever it is that you're building and bringing into fruition. And focus on, again, this closing cycles, this victory, this harmony. So I feel like this is just about you kind of building something here and putting in it's worth the investment. Like, you're going to see the fruits of your labor here, but focus on growing, focus on building whatever this is that you are wanting to bring into fruition here. And then focus on your achievements and what you have accomplished. This is about like completion and fulfillment. So focus on your accomplishments along the way. Maybe you haven't reached your ultimate goal of 1 million, but maybe you've reached 400,000 in your company. I'm just using that as an example. It's not a really good one, but whatever it is that you do, this ultimate wish fulfillment for you, whatever that is for you that you're wanting to bring in, notice the accomplishments that you make along the way. I can't talk today either. And then we have the moon. So that's, again, trust your intuition and try not to feed into the fears. Focus on what you can control. That fear, that negative mindset, try not to feed into that. Try to focus on, again, what you can control. Focus on the steps you can take. Maybe you can build certain things and focus your energy on small steps, on growth and progress, and then don't worry about the overall outcome of it. Trust that Spirit is bringing that portion in. So we have why, and we have community. Again, we had that 3 of Pentacles there, community. Collaboration, building with others. That can be, building an online community, building an in-person community. So we're going to start with why. It's number 31. That might resonate for some of you. Okay, why? Motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. There's great power in understanding your motives right now. The Oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you're clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. Wow. So you had growth, you had, these new ideas. So maybe focus on the new ideas and bringing things into fruition. I really love that. That's a really good card. I don't know that I've ever gotten that one in a reading. And then we had community, which is number 8. Belonging, being seen, understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know where we are useful to our families and communities. In a community, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship, and of purpose that comes from working together for the greater fulfillment of all. Perhaps you're part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are in a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be as small as showing up or as large as becoming its leader. No matter your position in this group, your presence is needed. Awesome. So yeah, seeing things from a bigger picture, stepping into that leadership. Again, the Emperor, you had the King of Wands, Emperor. I love that. So maybe stepping more into your community will bring you growth and progress. And maybe that's what following your heart is, stepping more into a community, and that's going to bring in that wish fulfillment. So I definitely love this reading for you guys. I feel like there's lots of growth, expansion coming in here. You stepping into more of a leadership role with that Emperor and that King of Wands. So I really love this. Just try not to sit in that negative mindset, because you've got some new beginnings and you've got new perspectives coming in, building a community, lots of growth and progress. So I hope that this resonates, Sagittarius, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.